Alright, how we doing? Welcome to the first episode of this week. Let me quickly go to the full cam here, bring the volume down. Let me know if the music volume is low enough. Holy mother of lag. Stream's lagging right now because probably Pump Fun is taking a little bit of my resources. Also, let me fix the webcam really quick. I was on a little bit of an interview before I jumped on this call or jumped on the stream with you guys. So the webcam software got overridden by another camera software. But hey, we're here. We're locked and loaded. The mic's not working. I can see the mic's not getting picked up. Oh, is it? No, the mic is being picked up. Okay, good. Mic's being picked up. We're here. We're locked and we're loaded. How's everyone doing? It's pretty dark. I fixed it. And also my hair is all messed up now because of my headphones that I had on right before going live. Damn it. I didn't want to mess up my hair, but now my hair is all messed up. Who cares? Screw it. We're not here to show our pretty face. We're here to show our pretty trades and talk about even better trade opportunities that might show up on the market. Hopefully you guys had a good day yesterday. My internet sucked. So a nice little day off for myself. I got to relax, take a day off the streaming. But boy, oh boy, let's talk about today. Powell and Trump shaking up the market a little bit, pushing the downside. Powell saying that markets are looking, or at least some stocks are looking, overvalued. And honestly, you don't need Powell to say that. If you just look at the market, what is it, a 50% rally from the April lows going into the most recent all-time highs that the market have had. So pretty decent move on the market overall if you think about it. So at the same time, you have stocks that do absolutely nothing. Push up to the north side by like 100%, 50%, 200%. Ridiculous on hopium, on just pure dreams that these stocks will continue pushing higher and higher. So I feel like you know, a little bit of stalling on the market, a little bit of calming down. I'm not calling for a pullback. I'm not calling for a complete market crash, right? At the same time, I would like one, because you know, market pullback would give me an opportunity to realize all the profits that I want to, and then wait for a big pullback so I can get long again and ride it back to the upside. But I don't think that's in the picture at the moment until there's a really bad news catalyst that comes out, right? Something such as a bad CPI print or a bad PPI print or something. For the moment, you need something really drastic to push this market to the downside. But one thing that is standing out is some of the stocks that pushed up yesterday off of that NVIDIA $100 billion news catalyst, like Oracle, Nvidia, some of the other AI names, Magnificent Seven stocks that pushed up north side. Most of them pulled back. QQQ basically gave up all of yesterday's gains. In fact, when S&P 500, IWM, Dow Jones were all green on the day, the Qs were the only ones that were red, and then you have the negative catalyst start pouring in and the market's pushing to the lower side. So a little bit of you know, start being careful on the market time. Not saying that sell everything and then run away from the market. I'm just saying it's time to start protecting your profits. And let me show you what I mean by that, because today I've actually had to take some profits across the board on some of my positions. I cut some Apple positions over here into the highs. I cut some Tesla positions under yesterday's low. You can see how Tesla is actually closing under yesterday's low now, so cut some of my Tesla position over there. RGTI taking some profits on the pops over here. Yeah, it's still pushing, so making sure that I want to ride the momentum, ride the wave as the money is being poured in, but also protecting myself from names where they're not doing the right things that I wanted to. For example, AAOI, it bounced off the 9-day moving average over here very cleanly yesterday, looked very good, but today all the way down right back to the south side, testing yesterday's low. Not exactly what you want to see if you were a buyer from here, or if you were a buyer in this area on the breakout. So pretty much at the end of the day for AAOI, I'm having to take out my position for a break-even trade, or even for a little bit of a loss, which sucks. But you know, I'm more than happy getting out for a loser right now instead of having to get out all the way down over here. And if I do want to get back in, I can get back in on the break of this 32, or a hold around the 9-day moving average, or the 21-day moving average. So it's really time to play defense at the moment. You have companies like IonQ. Quantum computing is not even a real thing at the moment, but here you have quantum computing stocks going up 60-70% on the intraday markets. Sorry, not intraday, on the daily sessions, which is ridiculous. So all of this just pure I don't know what stage you would put this at, but clearly not stage 1 on the market, right? None of this is stage 1 behavior. Most of this is actually behavior that you know, this market is in the euphoric state. Time for the market to trade sideways a little bit. Let the moving averages catch up. Look at how far the 50-day moving average is from the QQQ at the moment. Look at how far the 200-day moving average is from the QQQ at the moment. And as I mentioned earlier, you're looking at a 50% rise from April lows over here on QQQ. So monster move so far. I think it would be perfect to look for some sideways action, which means play defense, ladies and gentlemen. Not every day. This is a quote that I read on Reddit today that said, not every day is a day to make money on the stock market, but every day is a day to lose money on the market. So gotta be careful, learn to protect your profits that you've already made. It's very easy to give back these profits as quick as you've made it if you were not sticking to your rules. Some people might be too infatuated, let's say with the Tesla trade over here, with how well it's worked given the more current market environment. They're still looking for the all-time high touch, but with the stock, if it doesn't give you the all-time high touch, it starts pulling back between the 9 and the 21 day, then you know, maybe you didn't really take enough profits yet. You should have learned to take some profits on the pops over here and trail to the moving averages. Learn to ride the wave instead of, you know, just playing a big bag. If you're an investor, that's kind of a different deal, but you know, we're not investors here. We're swing traders, we're day traders, and we're looking to make money quickly. Hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. Investing is a whole different game. We're gonna leave that to Victor H investing, and I'm pretty sure that's not going so well right now with Coinbase for him. Hopefully he's learned to take some profits on this one, because Bitcoin is pushing back to the downside over here again. Bitcoin now testing the $110,000 area. I think, what was that, a recent low 108, 107. If we go back to the downside over there, that's not really the prettiest chart on Bitcoin. You're seeing a lower high coming into play and then an equal low coming into play. Possibly the 200-day moving average also catching up to that same level. That's not what you want to see on Bitcoin over here if you are enthusiastic. I mean, look at MSTR, look at Coinbase, right? They're all showing you weakness again after the most recent pop. MSTR touching the 200-day moving average over here and just perfectly rejecting off of that 200-day, perfectly rejecting off of the earnings VWAP, and then most likely getting ready for another breakdown. This looked like almost a fail breakdown. Looked like a pretty good long over here in this area. If you capitalized on it, shout out to you. But now looking like if Bitcoin actually manages to push those lows, MSTR, which had the weakest pop on the Bitcoin pop, most likely will have a bigger drop when the Bitcoin drops. Very simple logic over there to keep an eye out for. For tomorrow, though, ladies and gentlemen, I have not created a watch list yet, so we're gonna have to create a watch list live. Like I said, I was a little busy. I was on a call with somebody because I have to go on a YouTube show tomorrow, different YouTube show. It's not a YouTube show, but go on a different show tomorrow at 10 a.m. So I was a little busy kind of preparing for that with the host of that show. So didn't get to prepare for today. Didn't get to manage to make a watch list for you guys. So you guys get to see how we go through that process right now. So tomorrow, TOMO, come on, stop lagging. Tomorrow, let's start with the earnings catalyst. We already know that today, what is it? There you are. We already know that today MU announced their earnings report after hours, so looking forward to see how that plays out. CTAS tomorrow pre-market. Let's see if Polymarket, most of them were guessing that MU beats this earnings report. 86% people were expecting MU beats 2.85 EPS. Let's see if they actually beat that or not. Here's the after hour move on MU, and this would actually be good for tomorrow. You know, if MU has a good reaction, that might save the AI sector a little bit. That might save the Nvidias and the Teslas a little bit from getting crushed to the downside. So looking forward to see what happens over here. Looks like the report has not come out yet, or it has, and they are now waiting for the what you call it, they're now waiting for the conference call. So let me quickly pull up my sponsor Benzinga over here if you guys are interested in this awesome news tool and scanning tool these days that I use to find the stocks that are in play. Use the link below in the description. You get, I think, 15% or 10% off. I don't remember exactly, so make sure you go check the link in the description. Micron reporting today earnings after hours. Let's see how they reported. 11.32 versus 11.22. Looks like they beat 3.03 versus 2.86, so they did beat over there. That means, ladies and gentlemen, if you have some money on Polymarket, quickly go bet on the yes. Although there is no one making any there's no liquidity on this book. Never mind. There was only $42,000 worth of liquidity. But yeah, this stock is already, I mean, this is basically hit. It hit the 100%. It hit that over 99%. The book is closed now, basically, because, that should, there you go, 100%. I think I needed to refresh my page, and that's what I was missing. 100%, that book is closed. There's no more money to be made on the Polymarket side. But whoever did bet that Micron was going to beat the earnings report on Polymarket, let's go see if we can find some of these money makers over here. There you go. Some of the money makers still down 128K. Oh my God. But at least you made money today on this name. So shout out to you over there. Poly Market, very useful tool these days, and only gonna get better for guessing earnings reports. So CTAS currently expecting 75% beat probability on the EPS tomorrow. Coming back to earnings for Micron, however, continuing to read over here, $3 compared to 2.86, not bad, nice little beat over there. I want to see the smaller description that usually Benzinga gives me. Where is that one? This one, there you go. This is a 157% increase from same period last year on EPS. That's pretty good. And it is a 46% increase from same period last year on revenue, so that's also good. So growing on the year-to-year side on EPS, on revenue. How are we looking on the guidance? Micron ended with the period 11.94 billion in cash and equivalents. Micron sees first quarter revenue 12.5 plus or minus 300 million versus estimates 11.93, expecting higher than the estimates, looking good over there. First quarter adjusted earnings 3.75 per share plus or minus 15 cents versus estimates of 3.04. That's very high compared to the estimates, almost a whole dollar, technically 75 cents plus or minus variance of 15 cents, but almost a whole dollar above on the estimates. So it looks like Micron clearly being appreciated, Micron clearly growing, and the market appreciating the report slightly, but I think they're now being patient and waiting to see how Micron behaves on their conference call. So let's quickly pull up the Perplexity tools at disposal, see what time Micron's conference call is, and looks like the conference call is actually taking place right now. It says event starts at 6 p.m., but you said the thing was live. What is this? Live? That's weird. Not sure. I guess it's not live, but it will be live soon. Micron's conference call coming in at 6 p.m. What's over here? Micron happy hour. Oh, that's a Benzinga happy hour thing. Not something that we need to worry about. Anyways, growth on the report. Market makers originally took it to a new all-time high. I want to say new all-time high. Yeah, new all-time high. But then selling it right back to the downside into today's ranges and holding it around today's VWAP, which is a little still bullish side. I don't want to see the stock basically getting below yesterday's VWAP, which would be 165. Getting back under yesterday's VWAP would negate all of the bullish sentiment that the stock has at the moment. You could say that the stock has gone up quite a bit recently from its previous earnings area. This is its previous earnings area. It's up about 50%, 40% from there. Maybe 40% growth on revenue, 40% growth on the stock price. You balance out the scales over there. You don't really see too much move upside left on Micron. Maybe I'm just kind of like doing voodoo sciences over here, right? But at the end of the day, I really don't want to see the stock getting back below that 165 area. That's going to be important for me. That's yesterday's VWAP. So that'll be Monday's VWAP area. I don't want to see it getting below that. You could also take a look at where the 9-day moving average is, right around $160. Ideally, if 165 fails to hold, possibly a pullback to 160, from which you can potentially look for a long, because the report is actually not bad at all. It's a positive report. So looking forward to see if there's any dip buy opportunities on Micron. Besides that, I'm not really too interested in any of the other earnings names. I mean, MLKN, are you something to be interested in? Let's go take a look at MLKN real quick. How much volume do you trade on an average basis? 30-day average 440,000 shares only. Not interesting. And it's also selling to the downside. Actually might be worth keeping an eye on, because it got under the 200-day moving average, and based on the earnings report, potentially even more downside. Looks like it actually capitulated here right before or right after the report and bounced right back up. Not sure how to read the action on that, but yeah, just goes to show maybe there's some longs down over here to catch if you're interested. But MLKN, I'm not even going to bother putting that on the watch list, or even any of these other names. I don't think they're going to be worthy to be on my watch list. I've never traded them. They're too low of a volume. For example, look at AIR. It's not even on the right market. Let me find AIR on the right market. Oh, that's Airbus. I didn't know that. AIR, which is A8R. Yeah, AAR. You trade 300,000 shares for a $700 name on a 30-day basis. That's so horrible. It's like, what's even the point of having this name trade on the market at that point? I guess for like swing traders and so on, but like, come on, guys, this is irrelevant for us. Okay, for us, momentum traders, day traders, we want to look for stocks that are actually doing volume, that have momentum behind them, and you know, opportunity to take size. Without that, it's the rest of it's just lame and boring for us. CTAS tomorrow, $200 name, at least trading or more above a million shares on the 30-day average, so that's good. Pre-market name, I think there could be a trade opportunity towards the 200-day moving average, and also a trade opportunity once it breaks below 200, below 198 over here to the downside. So CTAS is actually worth keeping an eye on for the pre-market watch list basket, but then again, past that, for the pre-market, nothing really excites me. I have traded Thor before, so I guess Thor is worth putting on the watch list. This looks like UFC watch, UFC ticker, UEC, but it's a uranium name, so let's go check out what the chart looks like for this uranium name. Very interesting. I do like that. Good volume also on this uranium name. And recently, if you've been watching what's been going on with uranium, nuclear, they've been really catching traction because you need uranium to power nuclear reactors and to power AI generation and so on. So UEC might actually be one to keep an eye on. Potentially an episodic pivot. I don't know if they report something. Oh, this stock is at all-time highs. Insane. This stock is at all-time highs. I did not expect that. Worth watching for sure. With how it's moving, with the whole sector in play currently. So we'll put that one on the watch list too. And I guess all three from tomorrow's pre-market make the cut. Let's quickly go to the watch list, or sorry, quickly go to the chat, see if there's anyone in the chat talking to us right now. We got TH. TH says that's pretty dark. I know. I fixed it. Did I not? Powell reiterates rates going lower. Tom Lee bullish. Tom Lee was born bullish, dude. Does that guy even know how to spell bearish? Buddy is perma bullish. Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, stock market. He is the new, what's that guy? Bill Huang. Tom Lee is the new Bill Huang, okay? I'm bullish, says TH. Okay, that's the perfect time to go bearish, chat. If TH is bullish, it's time to go bearish. Sell everything in the market that you have and put your money down on the short side. Not financial advice. If TH is bullish, it's time to go bearish, chat. Because I've never seen TH be right. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, market obviously on a little bit of a downward trend. So expecting VIX to start making a nice little pop over here. There you go. VIX making a pop. VIX up 3.36% at the moment. Quickly circling back to Micron to see if Micron's making a move after hours here by any means. Don't see it doing anything yet, so we'll come back to it closer to maybe 5:36 when the earnings call is supposed to be. But it's time to now curate the rest of the watch list. So let's talk about the most important stocks for me in this coming week ahead. There's not many names out there that I'm watching, but the ones that I'm watching all have a similar theme in mind. The theme is these stocks are overextended out of the wazoo, and they gotta have some sort of a pullback coming into play very soon. Some of those stocks are RGTI, IonQ, is it QUBT or QBTS? Let me quickly check over here. QBTS, not QUBT. Yes, QBTS. How's QMM doing? Oh, holding up fairly well. What the okay. QMM looks like it wants to break out back above 123 and start making a run. That's insane. What a hold of the 9-day moving average. China though, you don't want to mess with China, that's for sure. Coming back, OKLO, that's one that you don't want to miss out on. NNE, I'm not sure if NNE is actually as parabolic as OKLO, but NNE is worth keeping an eye on for the long trade. And if OKLO is crashing, then possibly worth for the short trade also. SMR, how are you doing? NNE actually has me very interested, chat. SMR is already pulling back down 7% on the day. But look at NNE over here. Very, very interesting. Ooh, wee. Okay, and that's the, I'm guessing that's the all-time high? Hello, Magnet? Why'd you turn off? I'm guessing that's the all-time high at $48. Indeed. Ooh. Give it to me. Give me that breakout. Obviously, would have loved to take the breakout somewhere here at 42. But 46 into 48. And then if we get above 48 and keep charging, there could be something coming into play. So NNE 46.50. 48. 48 being your ultimate inflection level. ATAI on scanners looks interesting. Nah, I cut my ATI position completely. That stock looks dog shit to me. Oh my god, did it pop up today? When did it pop up? No fucking way, dude. Do I still have it? I cut this position today at like 10 o'clock. Oh, that one hurts. That one hurts. Please tell me I still have this fucking bullshit name. Nope, I sold it today. I was complaining about it yesterday. And I sold it today. And here we are. Where's my buddy? I hate you. I cut ATAI today because of you saying you cut it yesterday. And now it is fucking full 12% from where I cut it. Yeah, ATAI looks better now from when I fucking cut this thing. Absolute bullshit. Garbage fucking stock. Whatever, who cares? You know, just my luck, just the way it goes. The worst swing trader there is. Hey, nice move though. Shout out to anyone who's still holding it. I literally didn't cut it yesterday, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut it today if it fails the pop up. And it fails the pop up for a little bit. Like right here, you can see how it pulled back here, right? So right around here is where I cut the position. I said, I'm done. I'm taking my money and I'm walking away with it. There's no point. And here we are. You know what I'm holding though? Instead, I'm holding AAOI, which is absolutely done jack all. I feel like I need to cut this trade completely, but I'm holding this one. And instead that, I cut ATAI. Yes, whatever. I'm still holding RR, and that's what matters, okay? We still have good positions. Oh my god. Oh my god, down 12% on RR today. Alright, let's not look at personal positions today, chat. Let's not look at personal positions. Fuck this shit. Let's talk about day trades again. Come back to the day trade basket. I guess ATAI could be thrown onto the basket again if there is a worthy enough of a setup to join on the swing on the day trade. Nice little volume spike over here. You know, very clean consolidation at the earnings anchored VWAP and at the 21-day moving average. Some sideways action at that $4 or $5 area, and then a breakout with volume. So I would like for a pullback and a hold and a test again near the $5 area. If we don't get a pullback and a hold above near the $5 area, then I might just have to let the stock go a little bit. If you pull back to a longer time frame, you can see how we're just about to go test like 2022 levels. And I've been saying, like, you know, the market's a little extended, so I'm okay with letting things go. Rather wait for bigger pullback and then actually start looking for a long, maybe at the 50-day moving average, maybe back at the 21-day moving average. I'm not going to fight for the trade over here, but for the day trade, I mean, if the stock is already above 575, above $6, then you might just be able to fight for some sort of a move into 630, 650, depending upon how the action is. I'm not sure how the stock trades in a day trade style. I've never really day traded it. I've only swing traded it, so I can't tell you what to watch for. But based on simple history, look at how it breaks out over here, and then some volume but not really too much action. Looks like it gives you a gap close after gapping up, so expect a gap up tomorrow and a gap close and then a bounce off a gap close, maybe something like that on ATAI. Not sure if it's a high priority name for me. I already have much better names for a high priority watch list for the day trade, so ATI doesn't really make that high cut. The next one continuing down the list is actually a few of them in the same basket. It's SNDK, WDC, all of these stocks which have made an insane rally from like what, the 200-day moving average area. I mean, this is ridiculous. So looking for some sort of a realistic sell-off action. If you go look at WDC, it's now peaking back into the above 5 ATR move in 5 days column. So this is an overextended area. Anytime stocks are making more than 5 ATR moves in 5 days, they're a little overextended for the short-term period, and they're worth watching for a sell-off. Sadly, Western Digital and a couple of the other stocks never really set up like that. So worth watching, but the only one that stands out to me in this group is SNDK, because this just keeps blasting off, and doesn't really have the little consolidation the way Western Digital or the way Seagate does. So SNDK really stands out to me. Keep in mind though, like, these could move very, very close in relationship with Micron tomorrow. So if Micron starts to push higher and really start ramping to the north side, don't expect these stocks to push down. Micron actually pushing back up a little bit from where we saw it closer to 167. Looks like they want to take 170 and above 170. So looking for possibly a break above 170 to get long, a break above 170.30 to get long. Might not be too bad of a thing right there on Micron to be involved in. So for the after hour, that is, but I'm not really looking to do that right now. I'm just kind of calling out what I see. What matters though is Micron could really dictate what these stocks do. WDC, STX, even stocks like Oracle. Recently Oracle made a pop. Look at that, Oracle already making a run up. Did Oracle have a news over here in the after hours or some sort? Let's go check out our trusty tool Benzingo, see if Oracle did something interesting for us to be watching. Market bottom, it's no longer a market top. What's the news after hours? I'm not sure if there's any news after hours. Let's continue reading. 2 minutes ago, what is this? Oracle AI SoftBank announces 5 new Stargate data centers. Okay, so more circle jerking each other over here in the AI partnerships. I love to see it. The circle jerk in the AI partnerships has been so insane. So what I mean by that is Oracle gives money to OpenAI. OpenAI then goes and buys stuff from Oracle. Nvidia gives money to OpenAI. OpenAI then goes and buys chips from Nvidia. And they just go and just complete circle jerk each other all day, and boosting the value of the stock market, boosting the value of the overall stocks each other, and push it to the upside, propel to the north side. Just an absolute, I've never seen a better pyramid scheme in my life, chat. On God, I've never seen a better pyramid scheme in my life. And here we are, living the greatest pyramid scheme market that has ever been created. I'm not complaining though, because my portfolio has been doing great. But if this is not funny to you, I don't know what is. I mean, look, see, there you go. Nvidia starting to make a move off of that already. Micron should make a move from that with its earnings inclusion too. But looks like Micron is actually not getting the love that I thought it would. But the other Maybe Microsoft, because Microsoft owns a percentage of OpenAI. Maybe Microsoft gets a little bit of a pump off of that. And you're seeing how now all of a sudden it's no longer a market bottom. Market top. We're now looking at the great market bubble to start getting inflated again. Push it back higher, baby. Let's go. Send this market to the north side. I'm gonna love it to see QQQ push right back to today's high tomorrow. It will be an absolute movie to watch. Nvidia right back to all-time highs. Once Nvidia breaks this 185.50 chat, that's going to be an insane rally that you don't want to miss out on. At the moment, all we're doing is waiting on the 200-day moving average to catch up to the range low, or we're waiting for a news catalyst to blast off, which makes the 200-day moving average catch up to this range low. So, I mean, this sideways consolidation is not when the markets start looking bearish, especially when Nvidia is at all-time highs, when Micron is at all-time highs, when semiconductors are at all-time highs. These are not when bear markets happen, okay? When XLF is at all-time highs, these are not when bear market happens. However, speaking of XLF recently today gave you a little bit of a scare, a little bit of a pullback with the rest of the market, I guess. XLF now testing the 21-day moving average. That means you have your stocks like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citibank all coming into play. Look at JP Morgan over there. Nice breakout into a new all-time high, and people are calling market tops. By people, you could point fingers at me, but no, I'm not people, because I'm actually making fun of people calling market tops. The people calling market tops are Martin Shkreli, so make fun of him, okay? He's calling market tops. A lot of people out there on Twitter are actually going out there and calling market tops. This has by far been the most hated market rally out there. People have hated this rally on the market because of tariffs, because because they weren't buying the market around this area. They had to buy crazy around this area, which means that they weren't able to catch the bottom, and then they had to take profits around here because they got scared, and then they're now watching the market go even higher, and then Fed rates are coming into play and the market's going higher. This has by far been the most hated market rally out there. This is not when tops happen, okay? Markets don't top out when shorts are piling into all-time highs. Markets top out when people are buying the all-time highs ridiculously, and when you have your mom and your dad texting you and going, hey, I see that Tesla is going up. Is it time to buy Tesla? That's when markets start topping off. Tesla is not at that point yet. When your grandpa, when your mom, and when your dad are texting you going, hey, is it time to invest in Tesla? That's when you start thinking about market topping off, and maybe we start, de-risking across the board. We're so far away from that. I'm like ridiculously far away from that. Actually, funny enough, last time my mom asked me about what Tesla stock was doing, COVID happened. So it's crazy that people are expecting like insane markets to the downside. Listen to Pratt sometimes, he makes sense, like now. Hey man, I make sense all the time. It's just I try not to make sense because it's more fun to be a comedian. I mean, look at my Twitter profile, dude. My Twitter profile says, what? Comedian. Okay, I'm a comedian. I'm also a farmer because I farm clips on YouTube. But, Integrity Farm for those of you get it. Those of you get it. What are my notifications? Let's see. Possibly spam, of course. This guy wants me to follow him back. Crypto Holding. Probably another spammer. What is this? DM for collaboration, exploring hidden Solana treasures. Yeah, you know what? We're not gonna follow back. That's gonna be a hard no, brother. Sorry. We don't do that around here. We don't do follow for follow. We only follow people who have value. And we also turn on notifications. Look at this. Turn on notifications for people who have value. Looking at Mag 7 volume, Apple and Google options cheapest. Oh, options cheapest. Amazon has a normal premium. Everything else has volume cranked through the roof. I'm gonna need Grok to explain this to me. I'll be honest. Explain like I'm 5. Eli 5. Ooh, at the same time, let's do this. Oh, my nose. Partied too much over the night. Over the weekend, I mean. Over the night. Here's an Eli 5 of Steve's post. What is this? He's talking about options price volatility for the Mag 7. Google, Amazon, Apple options are the cheapest, meaning their expected price swings are low right now. Options, okay. In kid terms, most of the big tech stocks have expensive tickets if you want to bet they'll go up or down, except Apple and Google, which are the cheapest bets, and Amazon, which is normal. The rest are super pricey because lots of people think they could go wild. Thank you, Perplexity, for helping me out. I don't have to wait for Grok to answer it, but I think Grok will answer it. There we go. Imagine stocks are like bouncy balls. Volatility measures how much they are, how much they bounce. Historically, volatility HV is past bounces. Implied volatility IV. So this is the past IV bounces. Would traders bet on future bounces via options price? For big tech stock Mag 7, Apple, Google, blah, 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 blah. Chart shows IV options higher than historical volumes for most. So if you compare current numbers compared to historic numbers, yes, so you can see how 10 compare current versus historic, the options are cranked at the moment, is what our good friend Steve is saying. Get good. Bro, teach me options. What do you mean get good? Ain't nobody teach me options before. Also, you know, I guess I gotta learn it myself. That's how the game works. You gotta do the dirty work. You gotta get down and get your elbows dirty, get your knees dirty, and you know, get to work yourself. You know, eventually we'll get to that point. But right now, I'm only in the stock market world, okay? I'm not in the options world, and I don't plan on getting in the options world for another 3 years, at least. Maybe 2 years. 3 years might be too far out. For another 2 years, I don't plan to get into the options market. Get on a Discord call, damn it. Yeah, I've seen your Discord messages. Everything goes above my head, bro. I don't understand half the shit you say on Discord. It just goes above my head. I just go through it. I'm like, oh, cute girl. Oh, AI. And then I just go back to looking at, you know, pictures on Instagram. I just doom scroll. That's not true. I actually go back to back testing and stuff like that. But half the shit you say, whew, above my goddamn head, blah. I don't know how the hell you know any of this shit. Fucking crazy. Options are such a crazy thing, man. Just the amount of shit you need to know for options. This is why I just stick to stock market. You know, it's just like click, 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 and all of a sudden, boom, boom, pow, pow, I made money. Obviously, I didn't make as much money as you did, but I made money. That's all that matters. OpenAI and Oracle are expanding a data center in Albany, is that how you say it? Abilene, Texas, with OpenAI expected to spend hundreds of dollars, billions leasing servers over the next decade. This move supports OpenAI's dual strategy, combining cloud resilience on Oracle and Microsoft with in-house data centers backed by NVIDIA's $100 billion investment. So, like I said, the circle jerk, ladies and gentlemen. NVIDIA gives you money. You take that money and you put it into NVIDIA GPUs, and then Oracle gives you money, then you take that money and you put it back into Oracle data centers, and then you just have this wonderful, where's this image that I created recently? You just have this wonderful AI circle jerk where they just keep spreading money between each other, and then the market just keeps on going higher. Maybe this picture doesn't make sense to you guys, but maybe let me open up a different picture for you guys. This picture will make a lot more sense. Ready? Okay, look at this. So, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Oracle. Okay? What does that look like? It's a goddamn pyramid scheme, chat. It's a pyramid scheme. We're in a pyramid scheme over here. The AI mafia is just controlling the stock market at this point. They're just juicing the crap out of it. Obviously, you know, the AI demand has been really valuable. If you look at it, you know, what is it? TEM? Tempest. Speaking of Tempest, makes me really upset. Look at Tempest. Speaking of Tempest, what? Come on, guys. This is sad. Okay, Tempest, you make a new all-time high and then you do this. This is why I cut some of my Tempest shares today too. But talking about Tempest, you know, they are actually getting ready to solve cancer. Like, isn't that a good thing? That's with the help of AI. That's with the help of the AI mafia circle jerking each other and helping the world. But if it works, then yes, exactly. That's where I'm getting to. So the circle jerking is fine, but if it works, that's where the difference will start coming into play. Also, I want to say one more thing, that markets don't come to bearish territories when IWM is breaking all-time highs, okay? Maybe it does. Maybe it does, because that's when markets often actually start pushing back to the downside. That's when the euphoric state starts to take place, right? When IWM starts to go cranked up and go insane. Another thing I want to say is when QQQs are still above the 9 and the 21, that's not the time to be bearish. That's the time to, you know, protect your profits and let the market work for you. Many in the US are working at tech companies, are getting laid off. Of course, eventually you gotta have you know, something like a base salary. Without a base salary, you're screwed. The start of a sell-off, Micron. Oh, that's, come on, you scared me over there, Benzinga. What are you doing? Benzinga scared me with a little highlight. They said sell-off, but yeah, no sell-off. Micron's actually going higher. I want to see if Oracle's continuing to go higher over here. A little bit of a pop and a pullback, and then nothing really after that. Is Nvidia doing anything? A little bit of a pop and then nothing also, I guess. Same continuation story, yeah. But look, they're trying to bottom the market. They're trying to stop the market from going down, I guess, with each and every single news catalyst. But I like the fact that we got more opportunities coming into play. Nvidia, Oracle, Tesla, Amazon, which took a nosedive today. What other stocks are really extended? Maybe we're gonna have to start learning to use Finviz for you guys, because we have never really used Finviz to scan for stocks. So let me see if we can do this real quick. I want to scan for stocks that are up. There you go. Performance. Maybe let's do. Oh! You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it the best way, man. Let's do. Give me. Oh, chat. Oh, I have the best idea. This best idea. Oh, we're gonna ask Perplexity to do it for us. Why even me do it when I can have AI do it for me? Open the Kulamagi website. Okay, that's not it. Kulamagi website. Okay, now we scroll down to the setups. Where's the parabolic short setup? Oh, no. Where is the setup? Setups, there we go. Setups, breakouts, not breakouts. We want to go to episodic pivot, not EPs. We want to go down to parabolic short. Okay, these are the steps for the setup. A stock that's up 50 to 100% in a few days or weeks. If a large cap, 300 to 1,000%. Okay, the stock must be up 3 to 5 days in a row. How many times have... okay, so awesome. That's a basic scan right there. Scan for stocks that are up at least 50 to 100% in the last 3 to 5 days. So we want to look for stocks that are up minimum on the week. Can we do more than 30, sir? Alright, fine. 30% or more. And then 20-day simple moving average. What does this do? Price above, below, probably above. The higher, the more parabolic, obviously. 20-day high-low candlestick beta, 50-day performance 2, 200-day 52-week high, average true range probably over 1, because I don't really want to be trading stocks that don't have a true range of at least $1. RSI, don't really care. Change, we can leave that blank. All-time high, all-time low, gap, change from open, pattern, after hours. So these are the list of names right now that this stock has created, or Finviz has given us. Now, if we scan for them, look, these are amazing overextended stocks that are worth keeping an eye on, right? Isn't that easy to create? Look, I mean, obviously, I actually created this myself, and I didn't ask. I actually didn't ask Thing to create it for me at all. But you could have asked Perplexity to create it for you if you're interested. But look, awesome, nice little scan created. You have names in there to keep an eye out for. Maybe we can throw in a volume filter. My dog's going insane because someone's home right now. Is there a volume filter anywhere, somewhere? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't see any volume filter, but for the most part, there we go. You guys have nice opportunities already laid out for you. I might actually copy all of these. Bullish OQPUX. Is that a quantum name? Oh, that's a quantum ETF. Oh, baby. I'm finding names I don't even know about. This is a RGTI ETF. 159? What? You're telling me I could have made so much more by going long RGTU instead of RGTI? No volume though. Absolutely zero volume on this one. That's Soundhound. Most of these are just like leverage ETFs, huh? MSTR. Oh, MTSR. What the heck is that? Is this also a leverage ETF? No, this is completely something else. This is a different name. Ooh, an EP? Ooh! What is this name, chat? You guys know what's going on over here? Recent IPO. MTSR. Gapped up yesterday on news. And basically holding that low. I mean, that's that kind of looks like an EP if I've ever seen one. Up 60% on news. Where's MTSR? Ah, there we go. Gotcha. So they're getting bought out. It's a buyout name. That makes a lot more sense. So they're going to trade at a very, very small range for the most part, or depending on whatever the news is. Okay, so that one really doesn't matter too much. ODP, are you another buyout name? Yeah, the way it's trading like a buyout. But Pony, PDFS, OKLO, some of these names are already on the watch list, so it looks like I'm on the right track for now. Continuing to see if there's anything that I'm missing out. Joby, is Joby really ripping that way? Let's take a look at Joby. Nah. Pony, I wouldn't say it's doing something like that either. Yeah, I'm not interested in a short in Pony just yet. LTBR, Lightbridge? I think I care about Oklo more than Lightbridge for the short side right now, if I'm being honest. Fofo, BREA. What else is here? Let's quickly check for any stocks that we're forgetting. I think that's pretty good. I don't want to fight BKKT. Bullish is a recent IPO. That could be a good one to keep an eye out for. It also announced earnings report recently, but no, I'm going to ignore Bullish actually. AGMH is a recent small cap stock that went crazy. I think that's pretty much it. Looks like these names over here that I already have on the watch list for the high faders are the ones to keep an eye on. But I want to actually save this preset, so I'll save this preset for myself, and then I'll probably even code these other presets in Finvis for myself, so I can catch some stocks. Hey, look at me working hard. Many in the US, I kind of read that already. If you guys have any names that you want me to take a look at, feel free to throw it in the chat. If not, I mean, tomorrow's watch list for the most part is just me, not just tomorrow, throughout the week. My watch list is just me being patient and waiting for when the first red day sets up for these names. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, whenever it is. I'm just being patient. I'm already long some of these names, and then when they set up for the short, I'll be able to capitalize on it. For a little bit, IonQ looked like it was gonna set up the first red day today or tomorrow, but right now with the candle, that candle does not look like a first red day is coming in tomorrow. So we might see a little bit more extension. Something that I actually like to keep an eye on, and if you guys have been watching Steven Place on Twitter or on YouTube on his streams, he talks about options quite a bit. Me, sadly, I'm not an options guy. I don't know too much about, I don't dive deep into options. But one thing that I actually do follow for options are the put wall and the call walls, the GEX, the GEX, the GEX. So keep an eye out for that. I think if you look at for IonQ, let's go check out actually really quick what it is. IonQ, GEX are coming in at put wall 60, call wall 70. We're already above it. The last traded price is $75. This should update at 8:30 p.m. At night, right there. 8:30 p.m. ET. It'll update Eastern Standard. Make sure you go check at that time to see what the new put wall, what the new call wall is. Basically, what that means is if the stock is trading above the call wall, you're gonna see a lot more momentum to the upside. But if the stock is trading below the call wall, ideally the call wall turns into a resistance, and it has very little movement above the call wall. So you got to keep an eye out for that price. As you can see today, the longer it's spent above 70 bucks, the easier it was for IonQ to stay above 70, because then you have the gamma squeeze kind of taking place over here. So let me just pull up the chart, show you what that means, what that looks like. So they tried to get below 70 here. They really failed to even push to 70 if you look at it. Yesterday's VWAP was $70. So now if you're an options writer and you wrote an options call for 70 bucks, you are out of the money and you might get exercised. So what you're going to do is have to go out there and buy some shares if you haven't bought your shares already to hedge yourself. Ideally, you would have done that much earlier. But if you haven't hedged yourself, then you're gonna have to go buy some shares on the open market, which brings the stock higher, right? Options writers who are now out of the money, they're gonna have to go buy some shares, takes the stock higher. Then you have more degenerates buying more options and the stock going higher. Then the more options being bought, the stock goes even higher. And then more options writers are out of money, and then they have to buy more options to cover their delta. And it's just the non-stop gamma squeeze that happened with GME not too long ago. So kind of like what's taking place right now. The stocks are just going parabolic. IonQ is in that basket. Quantum names are very, very ridiculous. I mean, guys, companies like IBM have not been able to give you a proper quantum computer, and you're telling me IonQ is going to give you a quantum computer? You're telling me this company that hasn't proved anything is worth being $22 billion market cap compared to IBM, who's actually been doing a lot, is now what, 250 billion market cap? Like, things don't make sense. They just don't add up. So some things are absolutely ridiculous at the moment, but that doesn't mean they can't go even more dumb. There was a very wise saying from a man from my old trading floor. His name is Neil. He said, stocks can always be stocks can always be irrational longer than you can be solvent. What that means is stocks can always be crazier, can be even wilder than you thought they could be. If you think something's crazy, things can get crazier. So, you know, just be careful. Stick to your systems. Trail the moves. Let the stocks move accordingly to the game plan. You know, you don't know better than the market. It's as simple as that. Why is Bree up so much? It's just a small cap BS name that just goes all over the place. If I remember correctly, what is this one? This one announced like a cryptocurrency nonsense, something around those baskets. It's just QMMM and type of name. Not really anything new over there. If I remember correctly, that's what Bree is. Yeah, Solana cryptocurrency name. Pradis shares of IonQ going up because of being on Kramer last night, but Kramer, anything to do with the space will go up. I mean, I don't really watch Kramer. I don't care about Kramer. I like the joke about it that, you know, inverse Kramer, the whole joke about inverse Kramer is fun. It's a good banter. It also gives a good views on Twitter if you post about it. But that's not something that I care about. It's not a trading setup. The reason why I care about IonQ is because it's overextended. Ridiculously overextended. The stock was trading at 45 bucks 2 weeks ago. It's now at 80 bucks, right? So it's ridiculously overextended. They don't do anything. They have zero quantum computing. Absolutely zilch. In fact, no one in the world has quantum computing. So it's ridiculous to expect that these stocks deserve the rally that they've gotten. At the same time, like I keep saying, you know, I don't care that they are going up this way because I'm long. I'm enjoying the rally that it's giving me. Please keep going as high as you can because that means I'm making money to the upside. And then when it actually breaks down, it's gonna give me a short to take advantage of also. So just being patient. I have no setups for the swing long at the moment because I think you know, market's gonna cool off for a little bit. If you've already been long Apple, shout out to you. If you've already been long Tesla, shout out to you. Being patient is now the name of the game. Not every day is a day to push buttons and make money. Look how far Apple is from the 9-day moving average. 4% away. Can you stomach a 4% drop on Nvidia on Apple tomorrow? If not, yeah, then you should probably not even think about going long today. If you can stomach a 4% drop on Apple tomorrow, then okay, yeah, go long here. Add more here if it shows you buying. Add more here if it shows you more buying, and then cut for a loss here because, you know, that's just how you're supposed to trade the market. All jokes aside, you know, if you can stomach it, yeah, go for it. But I don't want to stomach a 4%. I'd much rather buy it here. So what do I do over here? I take profits. I'm long here. I'm long here. So I take profits here into the all-time highs. And then when it pulls back into the 200-day moving average or the 9-day moving average or the 21-day moving average, I take profits off of those. It's very simple mechanics, guys. Market's not hard. It's only as hard as you make it out to be. You know, people go out there, use a million indicators, use a million things on their charts. Sometimes my best chart is a chart with no indicator. That's why I have different layouts. You can see how I have a layout where it shows me the Magnificent 7 because I always like to keep an eye on the Magnificent 7, how they're doing, what they're doing, how are they moving in relationship to the market. Then I have a layout right up top on my top screen which shows me the overall markets, the QQQ, the S&P 500, the IWM, the Dow, and I compare the individual Magnificent 7 stock compared to the markets, and I see, are they diverging, are they playing in tandem with the markets. And then I look at my different layouts for my different stocks, and the one I trade on, honestly, the best chart that I trade on is a no indicator 10-second chart. If you guys know the secrets to that, shout out to you, because the setups that you can pull off with the no indicator 10-second chart as a scalper is a heaven. Especially if you pick the right name with volume, like a small cap name. It's a scalper's paradise. So it just comes down to your play style. You know, maybe 10-second charts are like too small for you and you don't like using 10-second charts. Okay, you know, you're a day trader. Go trade the hourly chart. Go trade the 15-minute charts. Go trade the bigger picture. So it just depends on your time frame. Depends on what you're trying to do out the market. You know, what is your personality? Is your personality quick hit and get out? Is your personality try to hold for a bigger move? There's so many things out there. There's no one way to skin a cat in the market. That's the beautiful thing about it. Multiple ways to skin a cat. Besides that, I think, I don't have nothing else to really talk about. Market's fun. Stock markets are going nuts. A little bit of a pullback on the market today. A little bit weeny bit of pullback on the market today. But besides that, I think there's still so many names to be excited about, especially for the day trade. Day trade stocks are going to be very, very profitable very soon. So just be patient and smack those when they come into play. Earnings board is coming to an end, so that's a right? Boring when earnings board comes to an end, but when one earnings board comes to an end, thankfully a new one's right around the corner. However, apparently your genius of a president in America wants to eliminate quarterly reports. I don't know why this genius president wants to eliminate quarterly reports. That's gonna ruin, our very, very fun earnings season. You don't want to see this happen. This is gonna suck because right now we've been having such a wonderful back-to-back earnings season, but your genius president over there wants to ruin all the fun for us. So hopefully that doesn't pass through. Hopefully Fed doesn't actually pass that through. We actually do continue to keep a quarterly earnings report. Maybe bi-yearly earnings report. It will give you a lot more volatility and a lot more opportunity during the earnings report. But I like the way it is right now because, hey, I'm a day trader and I get to take advantage every quarter instead of every half a year. So it's just my personal opinion on that one. And you know how opinions are. Everyone has an opinion, just like they have something special right behind them. But no, it is. I think quarterly earnings are amazing. Earnings season have been such a wonderful timing to trade, and having them bi-yearly will probably ruin a lot of volume in the market. That's not something that you want to see. Right now, there is volume in the market because you have such a constant update, right? Every quarter, and then each quarter is like audited and really scrutinized upon. And that's what makes the market so good. You don't want to follow Trump in business. We've seen Trump's business before and how that works out. We don't want to follow Trump in business. Trust me. That's a recipe for disaster if I've ever seen one. How many businesses has Buddy bankrupted? If I've ever seen a recipe for disaster, it's listening to Trump when it comes to business. So you don't want to be doing that. Let him do his negotiations and cause troubles with tariffs and inflation and all that, because what else can Buddy do besides that? But you don't want him to cause trouble on earnings. That's gonna ruin the market. That's my opinion at the very least. Anyways, QQQ, S&P 500, a little bit of a pullback today. I think this pullback is going to be irrelevant until we start holding below the 21-day moving average, which is a long time out. So enjoy the rally, keep on making that money to the long side, and protect the downside. Protect the downside by taking profits on pops, and hopefully this is not playing any volume. Yeah, protect the downside by taking profits on pops and then trailing to moving averages. That's the only way to make the most juice out of your positions. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Let's quickly wrap up the stream over here by going to what is it? The econ calendar. Econ calendar, where you are? There you are. Economic calendar. Potentially IPO season coming to an end now, because the most recent IPOs have been horrible. For example, StubHub. StubHub's IPO has been so bad that I don't think anyone is going to IPO anytime soon now. So we'll go to the IPO calendar, see if anything fun's over there. In terms of the econ calendar tomorrow, you have the new home sales at 10 o'clock. That's something to keep an eye out for. Crude oil inventories at 10:30, and then FOMC member at 4:10, that's after the market, and then you have a 5-year auction note at 1 o'clock. So a little busy, nothing really too important, but a little busy during the market hours. Nothing really pre-market. Usually it's pre-market and not during the market hours, but it's a little flipped over here for Wednesday, September 24th. That's your economic calendar. And for the IPO calendar, let's go see what's going on. As expected, completely dead. Don't care about any of these IPOs. Too small of an IPO value to me for me to be interested in. So I'm just gonna, yeah, not even put that on my watch list. So that's the wrap of today's stream. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock. If you guys are members of the Stock Trader Network, I think that's how you say it. Let's actually go back to the full screen over here. Yeah, Stock Trader Network. If you are a member of the Stock Trader Network, tomorrow, 10 o'clock, I will be going live on their platform with Joel Elcon. These guys were the previous hosts of the Benzinga show. Now they do their own show. Joel, Dennis, Josh, and Brent. Now they do their own show. They started their own little platform. They have a pre-market show. They have a opening bell show from 9 to 10:30, a closing print show from 3:30 to 5 o'clock, and then an options show from 1:30 to 2 o'clock on Fridays only. That's all of these are Eastern time periods. The other two shows are weekdays, and their pre-market shows, I'm pretty sure, is weekdays for free on YouTube, so you guys can go check that out. I'll be on their show tomorrow from 10 o'clock to 10:30. This is a paid room, so you know, if you guys want to watch me, maybe you can sign up for a 7-day free trial to come watch me tomorrow. It'll also make me look good if you join, because it'll make me look like I'm bringing some traffic. So if you guys want to do that, go check out Stock Trader Network. I'll post a link on all of the chats over here. Make sure you show up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And you know, they're actually a very, very educated group of traders. They've been trading for a lot longer than I have. They are professional traders for Benzinga, or were professional traders for Benzinga, and now they professionally trade for themselves. So a very, very cool group of people. Never really got to meet them and talk to them, but tomorrow will be my first day doing that. So come join me. And we'll have some fun. But besides that, same time, same place, 4:30 with your boy TraderPrad over here. Wish you guys the best of luck. Go make some money. It's time for me to go. Walk me, doggo. Go say hi to Coco and play with Coco a little bit. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Are you crazy? I'm in bed at 10 a.m. Honestly, these days, so am I. These days, so am I, my friend. I haven't been getting up until 10 a.m. I wake up at 10 a.m. I manage my positions in bed, and then I just like, yeah, manage my position, and then I go back to bed. Still waiting for my day trade account to open up, but from tomorrow, I should be ready to start paper trading the day trade account, because I need to paper trade for 2 weeks apparently. I don't know why. Even though I've traded on that platform for 5 goddamn years, they want me to paper trade for 2 weeks. Realistically, only to like get the little check marks that I know how to do, how to use the software and so on. So really quickly, just do that. Probably take me a week and a half, or not even. Do that, and then I'll be good to go live. So yeah, transferring money over. Quickly do a couple check marks for the paper account, and then I'll be good to go on the day trade side. All right, boys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I was wondering if there's anything important tomorrow that I have. I don't think I have. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.